high schools. Summer Creek is where it all started. Of course, Humble High School, Tascasita High School, and then we alternate between Kingwood Park and Kingwood High School. So, again, welcome to this one, and our next one is in October, so we'll get the exact date a little bit later. But right now, I'd like to have Mr. Jim Randall, Executive Director of HAM, to come forward with our invocation.
Thank you, Scott. Shall we pray? Eternal God, on a day that is gorgeous and comfortable, considering the time of year it is, we are thankful. We're mindful that we have opportunity here to be part of a growing and prosperous community. We are thankful that we have those resources and we have the internal drive that you've given us to be able to make this a great place to be. We recognize there are always challenges, and in those moments of challenge, may we have wisdom and discernment. And today, may all the things that we hear be beneficial to all of us as we seek to serve in this great place in a way that brings honor and glory to you. Amen.
Thank you, Jim. And now I'd like to introduce the Humble ROTC for the presentation of our colors, and they will also lead us in the U.S. Pledge and the Texas Pledge.
Forward. One. Left. 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 Right. Left. Left. Color guard. Whoa. Left. Face. Present. Arms. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the
Texas flag.
I
I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March. Left. 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 Left.
Well, again, welcome this morning. You know, these BizComs are made possible by generous donations from leaders and businesses in our community. And our presenting sponsor for all of our BizComs this year, all three of them, is Memorial Hermann. Let's give them a big round of applause. And Mr. Tom Broad has just a quick announcement about what's going on in Memorial Hermann.
Quick. Okay, where's my mark? First of all, thank you very much. We love hosting the Humble BizComs and the Summer Creek BizCom, by the way. But a couple of items that I'll be very quick about. First of all, in our audience, I'd like to introduce one of my Memorial Hermann colleagues. His name is Arnold Carrasco. I had to look at it because I haven't known him that long. Arnold, would you please stand up for a second? Everybody look at Arnold. Okay. Arnold is the director of our neighborhood health center. And I don't know if you realize that Memorial Hermann, the Memorial Hermann Northeast campus has a neighborhood health center. That's where you go when you're not feeling real good. The doctor, your doctor is not open, or it's a night or a weekend. I can tell you that they do a wonderful job in cleaning out earwax. That happened to me, and Marix over there took care of it. Unfortunately, I had to listen to the lecture about Q-tips. Can't help it, I love my Q-tips. But obviously, I'm not going to put them anymore in my ear. But Neighborhood Health Center is a great place for you, and we love having them on our campus. The two other items I wanted to mention. The first one is that we can be very proud, we are very proud of Lewis Smith, who is our CEO. Lewis Smith just received the Spirit Award of Memorial Hermann. Now, there are 22,000 employees of Memorial Hermann, And one person gets that award. They don't get it every year. Lewis got that award, so he's off today for the rest of the week. But when you see him, please mention to him the Spirit Week award. But please don't tell him I told you, because he would never want me to stand up here and say that we are so proud of him and that he really symbolizes what Memorial Hermann is about. We're very proud that out of 22,000 employees, he's the one who got the award. Now, when Lewis talks to you, oftentimes, he talks to you about quality. And this is very important for him, quality of health care. And that's another award that we recently received. And this is something that a group of national and international businesses have developed a program called Leapfrog. It's a website. You can go there and take a look at the quality of the facility that you want to go to. Well, we were very proud that this week we found out that we received the highest rating, so I had to look at it. It's called hospitalsafetyscore.com. You can go on there and you can actually read about you can see every facility throughout the United States rated, and we got the highest rating. This is something that I know Lewis, Heath, and the entire Memorial Hermann staff has worked on for a long time. That has to do with quality. Where would we want to send our own family members? So we're very proud that Memorial Hermann achieved that. It's been a real tough journey in the last 7 years to achieve that. So we're very proud of it. We're also very proud to sponsor BizCom, and I'm happy to now give the microphone back to Scott.
Thank you, Tom. I'm really fortunate to have such a great partner with Memorial Hermann and to have them right here in our backyard for any healthcare service that we may need. So, and congratulations again to Lewis. That's a great honor. Well, as is with tradition with the BizComs, and it's how they got started, was the reconnecting of the high school and the community, or the community back to the high school. And it's kind of a central hub, or it certainly was for many of us growing up, and we're trying to rekindle that. And so to hear about all the great things at Omaha High School, please help me welcome the principal, Dr. Charles Ned.
Thank you, Scott, and good morning. Welcome to all, and obviously I'd like to extend a special welcome and thanks to our first-time BizCom participants. Hopefully it will not be your last. I'm Charles Ned, building principal here at Omaha High School. As we look at the calendar and May 1 is hit, for us, for those of us in education, we understand and know that there's a lot of things that's going to transpire over the course of the next 5 weeks. Obviously, the primary thing we're getting ready for is getting our seniors prepared to walk across the stage on May 24th. So really, they have 23 days before graduation. So that is really quite an achievement in itself, just to get another class of students out of here. We obviously do a lot during the course of the school year that I'm able to share and detail you guys on. But again, I'm only one person, and I have my administrative team that works feverishly with me to help make these things happen for our students. But without our district executive leadership team, it would not be possible for us to do all the things that we do and provide the things that we provide for our kids. And so I'd like to acknowledge a few people. Obviously, some of you who's your first time, you may not have had the pleasure of getting to be introduced to these individuals before. We do have our superintendent of schools here with us, Dr. Sconzo. We have our chief academic officer, Dr. Price, our assistant superintendent of high schools, Mr. Kramer, and our district athletic director, Mr. Kite. So we appreciate you guys being here. Everyone's schedule is busy, I know it is, so I really appreciate your time. Again, just a few things before I want to showcase a student group that we have. I found that has been most beneficial, and the audience has enjoyed that a lot more than listening to me talk for 5 minutes. But we do have a few things in terms of next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. So if any of you would like to get involved and provide gift certificates, coupons, or even bring other items up for our teachers, we definitely appreciate that. And you can reach me. I'll be around the entire meeting, so I'll be available to visit with any of you that would like to do anything special for our staff. So moving on, we have a student group that has done some great things here at Humble High School and beyond the walls of Humble ISD. And I'll bring up our high school service learning coordinator with Stacy Hammond, who's been working with these students on this project that I think you'll find to be extremely neat and obviously beneficial once you hear a little bit more about it. Ms. Hamlet?
Hi, and thank you. Welcome to Humble High School. We appreciate y'all coming to our school and being a part of our day on this campus. Most importantly, though, today I'd like to introduce you to 4 very special kids. The kids in front of you have worked very hard and diligently to help fund an organization that we're very proud of called LIMS International. And I'm going to introduce them, and then they're going to hand out some things to you for you to look at while I speak. This is Farron Riaz, Ivan Diaz, Andrew Legal, and Yesenia Vargas. If y'all give them a quick round of applause, they're lying. If you'll notice that each of us is wearing a shirt that says "Out on a Limb for Limbs." One of my roles here is I am the IB CAS coordinator, which, for those of you who are not familiar with the IB world, I work with students to help develop their relationship with the community and their ability to serve that community. And these 4 kids have gone above and beyond what would be the norm expectation for any junior in high school. These aren't even seniors yet. We work with an organization called LIMS International, and what they do is they provide prosthetic legs. This is an example of a LIMS leg to third world countries. And what makes them extremely unique, a couple of things that I love. One, they are a Texas-based nonprofit. They're based out of El Paso at University of Texas at El Paso. But the other thing I love is that they have developed this leg to be able to provide to individuals in third world countries for the lowest cost possible. This leg can change a person's life for the cost of $300, less than your cell phone. These 4 children got very excited about LIMS International, and what they designed is a walk-a-thon that we did here at Humble High School called Out on a Limb for Limbs. And through the course of our school's event, we were able to raise $3,934.58. It's really extraordinary on its own. These students have also been mentoring other schools. They have mentored Lakeland Elementary, Wood Creek Middle School, Atascocita High School, and in the next 2 weeks we'll be mentoring Kingwood High School. They've also mentored schools outside our district, 2 schools in Spring ISD, a school in Houston ISD, and Audi International School, and also a school in New Caney ISD. To date, and we are not done yet, we have schools still walking and doing, we have raised over $8,500 for LIMS International, based on these kids in their work. The last exciting thing that I would share with you about these kids is they have been invited now by Texas IB schools, the TIBs, to be part of their setup at the International Baccalaureate Conference of the Americas in Washington, D.C., and we will be traveling to Washington in July. All 4 of these students will be representing Humble High School, Humble ISD, and your community. I was just pumped, so I have about 45 seconds to finish, but the handout that I gave you is the handout that we gave to our students during our walkathon, and I wanted you to have it because it gives information about the students' project, LIMS International, and also gives you a means at the back if you look about how you might want to donate. If you would like to add to our number and help raise the amount of funds that we've given, feel free to contact me, or you can go directly to LIMS International website, and when you donate in the memo line, you simply put Humble High School. And then all the funds will be credited back to these 4 amazing students. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Hamlet. Great work that these guys have done. I've been very proud and extremely pleased with not just the fact that they led this initiative here at Humble High School, but they were able to take it throughout the walls of HHS and expand it, not just within Humble ISD, but outside the walls of Humble ISD as well. So great work. Again, thank you for your attention. Appreciate you being here today. Hold applause, Mr. Kite. All right, again, a lot of exciting things going on. As mentioned previously, if you look on the agenda, we do have a very busy summer planned here in Humble ISD where we will be hosting the Junior Olympics. And this is really big for our community because it affords an opportunity for us to host, how many athletes?
Over 9,000.
Wow. So 9,000 athletes. So this is good for businesses. This is good for the Humble community. This is good for the Humble Independent School District. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up Mr. Troy Kite.
As he said, we are going to host. For those of you who've been around a while, I came and spoke a couple of years ago when we had our first one. We renovated Turner Stadium going on about 4 years ago. And when we did that, we were very, very fortunate. The board at the time and Dr. Sconzo saw a little foresight in adding 2 events. We added a javelin runway, which is not done at the high school level in Texas, and we added a hammer cage. And the idea at that time was, why on earth would you add 2 events that our kids would never use in our state competitions? And it was done for this fact, to be able to attract outside national events to come into Turner Stadium. Besides having a great stadium, what we have is a facility that is within 5 miles of an airport that has tons of hotels in our area. That foresight by the board cost $118,000. Adding those two things cost $118,000. I use that number all the time because I want people to know what it costs. When we hosted the last Junior Olympics AAU in 2012, through rentals and capital improvements, the district received over $1.7 million from that one event. The idea is, and of course, I'm not a business model type people. You guys are, and we were very fortunate that our board, Dr. Sconzo, thought like that. Invest a little, and the opportunity to have returns down the line for years to come will be there. How we got into it is kind of lucky. The Sports Authority, Houston Sports Authority, Janice Schmees is the director, and we formed kind of a partnership, and what we do is we go and bid on these national events. For USA Track and Field, they're coming in this summer, and we flew to Florida, and there were 4 other cities, national cities across the country, that put a bid out to get this event. There'll be over 9,000 athletes. They come in here July 21st through 27th. If you're just a casual driver, Wilson Road during that time probably won't be your best bet. I can tell you that we learned from the last one. So, when you do an event management and you've never done, and we've done a single football game that's had 10,000 people in one day. We haven't done 10 consecutive 10,000 seat football games for 10 straight days. And that's what we did the last time. So you obviously learn a lot about that. And this one will be very similar. So the management piece has been a learning process for us. We have the Western Athletic Conference, which has no schools, no colleges in the Houston area. They're going to do their conference meet here next spring. We have already secured the AAU Junior Olympics in 2016, 21, and 24. I won't be here in 24. I'm not sure 21 will make it. I'm thinking I won't get caught at least until 16 on some of my mess-ups. I think 16's manageable, 21, 24, I'm not positive. But the idea behind that is we teamed with the Sports Authority, and with this meet, Mayor McManus and Daryl Bosky, I don't know that I see Daryl here, but they have been instrumental in getting these events here as well. So, the first time the city wasn't real involved, we didn't know what we were doing. And it turned out to be very beneficial for our community and obviously for the city of Humble. If there's ways that you would like to contribute or be involved with that, ask and email. The better we make this, the more people talk. What we've learned is that by building the facility we built, adding those 2 venues at a relatively minor cost, we've become a national known facility. In the track and field world, we are now one of the top tier facilities that competes with major Division I universities. For instance, in the state of Texas, there's really 2 facilities. There's the University of Texas, which we're not going to come close to, and there's us. We're better than U of H, we're better than A&M, we're better than Texas Tech, we're better than Rice. We're better than all those facilities, and when you go nationally, it's the same way there too. Not going to compare yourself to UT, we're never going to have those kind of funds. But they also don't have the airport and the hotels that we have directly by our facility. So we attract people nationally to come in here, and ultimately I think that helps our community, and it helps give a positive spotlight to our district. So, our board was very thankful. Our community supported it a great deal. Obviously, if you're in the direct area, the Humble area, we had some complaints the last time. We listened. Will we cure all those complaints this time? Probably not. But I think we'll do better than the last time as far as trying the event management and the traffic flow issues that we had some the last time. That's about all I have. Anybody have any questions? If you have any inklings or ideas that you want to do to support that event, all you have to do is ask. Yes, ma'am.
Would we contact you?
You can contact me. Yes, ma'am. By email, I'll give you my office number, 281-641-8132. And then email's pretty easy to Google and everything else, and we can get involved. The more the community embraces it, the better, the more attractive we are. The Sports Authority and Humble ISD is great, a great partnership with the city coming in and joining us. It's a tough team to beat when we go and compete against other cities. Yes, ma'am.
Tell us the dates again.
July 21st through 27th. That's when the impact will be dramatic. The kids will start coming in on the 20th. The first 2 days, the 21st and 22nd, are kind of light. That's when they do the multis events. And then the 23rd to the 27th will be rocking and rolling.
Where would you find a schedule of events?
I could send that to you. They have not finalized. USA Track and Field has not finalized their schedule of events, but they have to have it done by the end of May. Yes. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Troy. And we'll also link that up to the Chamber's website with all of the information and dates. So we'll have that available to all of our Chamber members as well. Just real quickly, I want to introduce someone to you. She's attended almost every one of the Humble BizComs, and yet she is with the Spring ISD. She's a board of trustees there, but she is involved in our community as well because we do a little bit of crossover through the Chamber. And I'd like to introduce Ms. Janet Gonzalez to you. And I'm looking forward to it after this, but how was lunch? Good. Well, that was provided by Wingstop. And they have recently opened. They're on the feeder of 59 North, just right next to the McDonald's, I believe.
Yes.
Right. So just north of First Street, which is the Business 1960. So Wingstop, and I think we might hear something from them just a little bit later. But so please stop in. They provided lunch today, but please stop in, tell your friends, and take some folks there and have lunch as well. So we're going to change the schedule up just a little bit. We're going to skip down to the development on Sorters Road. And to give us all of that great information, please welcome Mr. David McCarble.
Very happy to be here at the first Humble BizCom for myself. I'm going to talk to you today about Kings Creek. Kings Creek is a project by David Development and Welty Building Corporation out of Akron, Ohio. Don Taylor has been very facilitary in helping us get this started, along with his wife, who's a lieutenant governor of Ohio. Our partnership with local government in the Dave Martin's office, City Council for District E, has also been very helpful in accomplishing the thoroughfares and these road extensions we're getting, and the road, water, and sewer extensions we've allowed to have. Also with Stan Sermon with the TERS group, TERS 10. What we're taking is we're going to have the first ever LEED certified mixed-use development ever done in this area. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. The entire project will be, we're using an existing pond there. We're creating water features on it. We're also using an old bridge and connecting it in with a hike and bike trail that are using permeable material and recycled material. So we'll have over a mile and a half hike and bike trail that's solar lit at night, and also we'll have a nice track below it. In that creek area on the west side, you'll see the depiction here in a minute, we're relocating as many of those trees as possible. Instead of just roaring through that creek and clearing it out, we're going to try to relocate all those trees, which will make, I guess, a lot better for the livable forest. The site is depicted there on the map on the lower left-hand side. It is contiguous with the Kingwood Hospital. If you get your bearings down, we're also just east of the San Jacinto River and the sanctuary there. So we're decided to go with a vertical development here. Next slide. Okay. There's another depiction. You can see the river and the sanctuary, so we're going to put some high-rise, or mid-rises, say condominiums on the west side of this project so they can take advantage of the views of the river and the sanctuary there. We'll also be widening the Sorters Road. They're doing an impact study right now. It looks like the widening of Sorters Road will go all the way up to North Park, taking some of the pressure off of 59 in that area. Also, the extension of Kingwood Place Drive will come right through the property, as you indicated by those arrows. Oh, we've had designed here 1,000 luxury Class A LEED certified apartments with full amenities, indoor theaters, a sustainable park with edible forest, swimming pools, fitness centers. We'll have over 1 million square feet of Class A LEED office space. We have 2 Tier 1 hotels, over 150 rooms each. And we'll be complemented by retail space, including restaurants and financial services. We've had Manford, who had created the Ruggles concepts and is going with a couple of his projects already. Ruggles, Royals Green, Urban Kitchen, Chianti's. Some of those flavors we're now negotiating with off the start. We'll have water features at all of the entrances, indicating the Kings Creek area. It'll be complemented by that with also with the edible forest. All the trees will be fruit bearing or nut bearing. Like my grandfather used to say, if it didn't produce anything in the yard, he just pulled it up and planted it somewhere else. So this will be a park with pecan trees, walnut trees, peach trees, pear trees, trees that are native to Texas but are also fruit and nut producing. This is another vertical depiction of the project. Indicated in blue are the 2 Tier 1 hotels. Indicated in yellow would be the 1,000 luxury condominium apartments. In the middle there, we'll have the sustainable park. It will also be solar lit. It'll be complemented by tennis courts, volleyball courts, a doggy park, as well as an outdoor fitness area. Depicted in red is the retail surrounding that, and depicted in orange are the office buildings, the LEED certified office buildings. It's an overhead view. As you can see, the extension of Kingwood Parkway up on the far right will come down to a roundabout. We'll go over to Sorters Road here. It'll also come down and go over to Sorters Road. So we're going to branch off there and create 2 other roads. This is an estimated $1.2 billion project. Will supply thousands of jobs for the Humble and Kingwood community. This is a depiction of the entrances of the Kingwood project. So when you come to the Kings Creek area, you'll see 16-foot cascading waterfalls. We'll also be using solar products for the pumps on these waterfalls. The interior lighting will all be have a theme to it throughout the Kings Creek deal. Every light will be solar light, and we will use as much permeable material as possible to eliminate as much runoff. Is that it? Do we have any questions?
Do you have a website?
We're putting one together right now. It'll be kingscreek.com.
Will any percentage of the condo apartments have an ownership option, or they'll be all rented?
Well, we're going to do a survey here I've got coming up in a couple of weeks with area realtors, and we're going to see if there's a market for mid-rise condominiums. And we feel like there possibly is, and so we're reaching out to the area realtors to see if they feel the same way. And we do have the ability to probably put half of these in the sale market.
Can you say again how much commercial square footage?
It'll be probably about 150 to 200,000 square feet of commercial space, restaurants, and over 1 million square feet of office. So it'll be a campus setting. You'll have a little bit of everything. You'll have hotels, shopping, restaurants, office, and Phonoscope will be bringing in Ethernet services. So you'll have high-speed internet, two-way video anywhere in the project. So you could go on your TV and interact with someone at the hotel, or at the office, or at the restaurant, or in your apartment complex. So all you have to do is go on your TV, push a button, and you will be interactive with somebody face to face. We'll also have a loop around the project, so you'll have Wi-Fi anywhere on the project, anywhere on the hike and bike trails. You'll have Wi-Fi and internet services. Any more questions? Yes.
When did you say it would be ready?
We start construction on the roads late this summer.
Will the apartments be the first phase of the development?
Yes, sir, they will. We'll be going vertical with the first 300 units last quarter of this year. Permitting.
Are you selling pods in the development, or you're developing the whole thing?
We will entertain selling some pods off. We already have a contract on the hotel portion right now. We marketed it for about 24 hours and then somebody put a contract on it, so. Yes.
Do you just have a rough estimate of maybe what like the daytime and nighttime population will be for the development itself?
Daytime population, this would probably be somewhere around 8,000 to 10,000 people. Nighttime, probably about 4,000. Thank you for your time.
Exciting things happening right here. Thank you, David. And to talk about another development that you may have heard about if you attended one of the previous BizComs, is the Crescent Communities on the Grove. So here to tell us more about that is Ms. Nicole Zimmerman and Mr. Kevin Houston.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Houston. I'm the Regional Marketing Manager for Crescent Communities based out of Dallas. With me, I have Nicole Zimmerman, who is our Assistant Project Manager down here at the Groves. First and foremost, this is my first real entry to BizCom here, and I want to thank you guys. I mean, this is great. We're really excited to be a part of this. We're excited to have the opportunity to come down, and really we're excited to grow with the community. So we're really looking forward to becoming an active partner in what you guys have going on here. So, Life in the Woods really is our tagline for what we have going on at Crescent Communities out here at the Groves. Giving really the story behind it. We take an innovative approach to really how we market and how we develop our communities. We develop a brand vision. And this is a very, very detailed process when we acquire the land. We want to get into what we ultimately think this land could be, and not just from a home perspective or a street perspective, but what is the essence of this land. And we came up with Life in the Woods, and it's really a great message. And beyond that, I mean, what does Life in the Woods mean? We're creating a natural refuge in Northeast Houston where a diverse community comes together to engage in a lifestyle that is inspired by the outdoors, by well-designed places, and by each other. So what's that saying is we're thoughtfully designed in a lot of what we're producing. We're thinking about how the streets, how the pods, how the streetscapes, how the landscape all comes together in this experience and integrates with the folks that are going to live in there, and also with the community.
Hey everyone, as Kevin mentioned, I'm Nicole Zimmerman, and I am the Assistant Project Manager working at the Groves. This is my exclusive project right now, so the Groves is definitely my baby, and I'm taking a lot of pride in making sure that everything, that this vision comes to fruition. So let me tell you a little bit about the land plan itself, about the builders that we have in the community. Total acreage is just under 1,000. This first phase that is currently under construction is 125 or so. It will be 189 lots total. We've got 3 different product sizes in this first phase: 55 by 130-foot lots, 60 by 130-foot lots, and 70 by 130-foot lots. The split is roughly 75, 75, 40, if that adds up. I believe it does. We are under contract with 6 phenomenal builders. We've got David Weekley Homes and Village Builders on the... Thought I did something wrong. We have David Weekley Homes and Village Builders on the 55-foot lots, Darling Homes and Highland Homes on the 60-foot lots, and Taylor Morrison and Trendmaker on the 70s. We are working with them right now to get their plan lineups to make sure that they're fully on board with our vision of life in the woods, we can really make this a very special community. We are in Humble ISD. We have a planned 10-acre village center here in the middle. That'll come online phase 3, phase 4. We won't see that for probably about 3 more years. Jumping back to schools, we do have 2 school sites that we've set aside. I can't fib since we've got a lot of district representation here, but we haven't committed to what those sites are going to be, but we're talking to the district and we've preserved those, so hopefully elementary.
Well, we know Nicole's feeling on that now. So what does this really ultimately get to when we talk about life in the woods and the site plan of what we're going to do? We see this piece of land, this community, really being a natural refuge inspired by the great outdoors. So we're going to have trails, over 2 miles by the time we get done of hiking, bike, whatever trails that you want to be able to use. If you get one of our little brochures afterwards, you'll see that there's this beautiful community length pond or creek that runs right through the property. And that's just going to be a great area of open space, mixed use, and flexible land for people to engage and interact with each other. And then in addition to that, 100 acres of that spine that's running through, 90 additional acres of dedicated space for parks and open space. So additionally, one of the big things that we have with the trees, the tree sustainability is a big importance in what we're doing. But we've taken it one step further, and we've said that not just keeping the trees, but also we know that there are going to be trees that we're going to knock down. So an exciting story that we are going to have coming out pretty soon is we are doing a story on tree reuse of the trees that we are going to be that are going to be knocked down through this. So we're really excited about that prospect. The lifestyle end of things, Nicole touched on that a little bit, but in phase 1, really, we have a couple amenities, kind of a lifestyle area that's got a welcome lodge, and then also a fish camp, which is going to be really neat. It's just a really simple area where community residents will be able to go out and, like it says, catch fish and hang out. And one of the really interesting things we see with this is a lot of people gravitated towards the father-son aspect or the parent-child aspect of being able to take your sibling out and just go out someplace and not necessarily have a manufactured experience, but have a real, authentic, and organic experience on your own. And Nicole touched on the lifestyle center that will be coming in an additional phase with pool, multi-purpose rooms, children's play area, and much, much more. So really kind of getting into the timeline of things, I'm going to give it back over to Nicole.
This is what makes me happy. So he keeps all the left brain stuff for me to do, and he does all the creative, fun stuff. Home construction, we are actively under construction on the infrastructure. We hope to start turning lots over to the builders mid-summer. Pre-sales will begin at that time. We're anticipating having models and spec homes up and open fourth quarter, towards the end of the year. The Welcome Center will open concurrently, and our grand opening we're going to do sometime in first quarter of next year.
So the Groves is a Crescent community, and if you guys, I want to be sensitive of time, we have just a little under a minute here. If you have questions or if you want that small brochure that I mentioned, feel free to see either one of us, but if there's immediate questions now, we're happy to take any.
What price point are they going to be?
Our first phase is going to be $250 to low $4s. Hopefully we can drive that up a little bit in future phases as we prove ourselves, which we most definitely will. Yes, sir.
Where is this?
This is Westlake Houston Parkway, just south of Eagle Springs. So we're just north of the railroad bridge on the west-hand side. Any other questions?
Thank you all.
Thank you, Nicole and Kevin. just more exciting stuff. And if you have a business right here in Humble, you know that even though this may be out a ways off of West Lake Houston, folks are coming through here by, I think it was the last account I heard, 250,000 plus travel through the city of Humble daily. So it's amazing how much business. And just a little anecdote on that, Troy. Back in the last Junior Olympics, I often try to improve my golf game over at the Humble Oil Patch driving range, which is on Townsend there. Anyway, I walk in one afternoon and it is so crowded I can't even get to the front door. And so I worked my way in. I found out they are all visitors from out of state. Started visiting with some folks from Pennsylvania that were actually playing golf at the Humble Oil Patch and doing some of the, he has a par 3 course there as well. So the economic impact on businesses, hotels, restaurants, it even goes into the entertainment sector as well and so many other phases. Someone's going to forget socks or something, so they're going to go buy them at whatever local store. So huge impact on our economy. So I think I'm up. If you were here last time, we talked briefly about the Charles Bender High School renovation. It's not the original Humble High School, but it's very close. It was constructed in 1929, was used as a high school for many years and then a middle school. And this is a photo. I'm going to go quickly because I know you're all waiting to hear Commissioner Cagle. But I did want to give you a quick update. It is in the bidding phase. We've completed the drawings. It's out for bid. This is a quick shot of the auditorium. There's the shot down the main corridor. These are circa 1950 photos. That's the library upstairs. And this was taken just in the last couple of weeks. The demolition phase came first. So they went through and basically had to demo most all the interior spaces and walls just due to deterioration. And the way some of the methods were used to construct, it was almost impossible to do any of the interior electrical and ductwork and AC to do it properly in a way that we can restore it back to or close to its original look. There's a photo of the staircase, and all these are recent photos within the last month. So here's an aerial photo of where it sits, and if you haven't seen it or want to go by it, this is Higgins Street. What's not shown would be about right here is Main Street. That way is north up the page. And so the old business 1960 kind of runs like so. A quick aerial drawing site plan showing some of the improvements, getting folks to park and then have a nice walkway into the facility. And we're refurbishing the front entry and getting it back to like it was in 1929. Just a quick floor plan. The main use of the space will be a performing arts center with some support spaces, and then of course a large lobby pre-function area where folks can go through intermissions or just entertain before an event, and have some gatherings, possibly catered, and then go in for a performance. Second floor possibly will be built out. The city has not completely decided. We'll wait and see what the numbers come in, but one thing we would definitely like to restore is that library space, and then maybe leave the remaining spaces for now as shell spaces that could be expanded in the future. Just a quick section view through the main entry, which is right here, and up some steps into that main corridor. If you recall the photograph you saw earlier, the second floor corridor that looked into the library. So here's a little perspective from the exterior, looking east, Higgins Street being right here. Hopefully we can expand the parking, because parking will be an issue, though there is a lot of parking around, similar to Minute Maid, not to that scale, but where you park on the streets and along some of the adjacent spaces, but obviously you want to be careful not to deal with the neighbors and things of the area. But anyway, here's a quick closer view of the pedestrian walkway that would lead up to the main entry. This is the shot of the refurbished, what we hope it for to look like, of the auditorium. Another shot there and there. And just kind of keeping the feel of what it was like and when it was constructed. There's the pre-function lobby space. Couple shots there. There's that main corridor, which was this view is almost from the one from the photo. Of course, we won't have all the supporting principal's offices, counselor's office, and all that spaces. Those will all be just one big open space to the left there. So that wraps that up, and that's just like I said, we are in the bidding phase, so hopefully we'll get some good numbers in soon. Construction can begin. It won't take that long because most of the main structure is there, and we're actually hoping to have it completed before the end of the year. So with that, any questions? I would like to just say my stepfather is here today, and he actually attended a 1960 graduate of Charles Bender High School. So Dad, wait. The city hasn't actually decided how that will be used, but we would think that's the ultimate goal.
So it is owned by the city?
Yes, the city purchased it from the school district 4 or 5 years ago, Dr. Scoggins. And because I think all of the city councilmen, except maybe for one, actually attended school there. And so they have a real interest in getting it restored. So. Yes, sir.
Will it have a stage and what's the capacity of seating?
Yes, sir. Good question. We'll have a stage, a very nice sized stage by today's standards especially, and it will seat about 350 to 370 people.
Will it have a fly area?
Yes, sir. All new state-of-the-art lighting, curtains, projector. It should be a very nice facility, and it's a great size venue for, our high schools, which are great venues, but there's 600, 700, 800 seats, and sometimes folks want a more intimate setting of 250, 300, 350, so this would be really a great venue for those type of activities. There's already been a lot of interest in when's it going to be ready, so I don't think the city would have any problem having people that want to use it. So any further questions? We will keep you posted in the October. We should be, if everything goes according to plan, we should be just a couple months away from completion. So if you come back to the October BizCom, I'll have hopefully some nice interior photos instead of just renderings that I can share with you. So, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce a gentleman I had the privilege of meeting about a year ago, and we cannot be better served by someone that serves this area that really has an interest in his or her constituents. And this gentleman is every time we've asked him, can you give us an update on this, or would you want to come speak at this and tell us what's happening with this or that, he's always been there for us. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our Commissioner, Mr. Jack Cagle.
Do you have our PowerPoint, or can you just snap that in?
I do not have.
That's Apple technology? Okay, then I can fly. First of all, those were beautiful renditions of the Bender High School. No wonder the county likes this architectural firm that was showed up there as well as the city. So that's good work, and it's exciting to see what's going on in that arena. The Bender family has been a very important part of our region for a long time, and I got to see it firsthand yesterday in something that my staff calls my annual Lewis and Clark adventure. What that means is they take the old fat commissioner and I get dropped off at one of the beginning spots in our precinct where the water first comes in. And this time we started actually in the park, which is off of Matsky, Jones Road, on the western portion of the precinct. And from there I began to walk where someday we will have an integrated trail that will go all the way from Matsky Park all the way out to where the water leaves the precinct. So I hiked up the Anderson Ditch Trail up to Cypress Creek, and then I hiked down Cypress Creek. There are a few properties that we do not yet have in that system, but most of them are there. After going to Cypress Creek, I hiked all the way up to Kickerillo Preserve, the Kickerillo Mission Preserve, from there to Meyer Park, from Meyer Park to Collins Park, from Collins Park up to our beautiful Mercer Arboretum and not botanical, but botanic, because here in Precinct 4 we hold out our pinky and say it the fancy way from across the pond, Botanic Gardens. And then we got on a kayak, and I kayaked Cypress Creek going all the way up, and then across over to our Jones Park. Got out at Jones Park, and then I hiked over to the Bender Lakes, which are now part of the Spring Creek Greenway project, which are what we will all be able to enjoy for forever, as opposed to them being mowed over and turned into something that would be nice, but not as nice for us to be able to preserve this unique heritage named after the Bender family. Bender Lakes are unique. And I have to tell this story, even though I'm here to tell you about development in the region. This is a development that affects us all because these lakes will be part of what we're able to sell to the world for why we're one of the best places for them to continue to come and do business. You see, when the Spanish conquistadores first came through this region, they brought their gold with them. And as they came up the rivers and they saw the beautiful springs of Santa Rosa, which are over there by Jones Park, they met friendly Indians. But some of the Indians in the region were not so friendly, and they ended up in a running battle. And so they took their gold and they tossed them into this lake, later to be known as the Bender Lakes. They don't know which one exactly, and had their battle. And when the battle was over with, they went to go find their chests of gold that they had tossed into the lakes for safekeeping, but they could not find them. You see, our Bender Lakes, if you go and if you toss a fishing rod in, it drops straight down. They are not truly bottomless, but it seems bottomless. Some of them are 40 or 50 feet deep due to the fact that Spring Creek is fed by springs. And they cleanse themselves out. And it's a unique geological feature that you can't find anywhere else. And who knows? If you go there, you might find the lost treasures of the Spanish as they were dumped in there. But I will tell you that when you look at as folks who are residents of Precinct 4, when you look at your Bender Lakes from now on, the treasure, you will agree with me, is right there before your eyes. Because they're beautiful. They are beautiful.